Hello, darling. I've just now checked in. Yes, same old suite, 648. How's everything at home? Good, good, good. Oh, I wish to, darling. But you know how it is. With an all-night sitting, we'd hardly get time to see each other. And you know how much the Prime Minister relies on me. Well, it's going to be 8:30 and the debate would have started. I'll have to go now. But you have an early night with Dick Francis. And I'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Hang on, there's somebody at the door. Who is it?
It's the manager.
Well, I really have to...
Good evening, Mr. Willie. Sorry, Mr. Willie.
What's that? That was the manager. Mrs. Willie sends her kind regards.
Oh, how kind. Will you reciprocate?
The manager reciprocates. Mrs. Willie says how kind.
How kind.
Well, darling, I must really get going. Sweet dreams. And you curl up in bed with Mr. Francis.
I trust everything is to your satisfaction, Mr. Willie?
Fine, fine, fine. Everything's okay.
We've just had this suite redecorated.
Well, 20 years was up, was it?
Mr. Willie.
Well, as long as you don't fix the plumbing.
The plumbing?
Yes. Your central heating system starting up in the morning is far more reliable than your alarm calls.
Would you like an early morning call, Mr. Willie?
Well, after an all-night sitting, not too early. I suppose 9 o'clock would be fine.
I'll arrange for the central heating to be turned on precisely at 9, Mr. Willie.
I think I have everything for my debate.
Or will you be giving one of your blistering ministerial speeches, Mr. Willie?
No, not unless the opposition cuts up rough. You go ahead.
Thank you. Shall I hold the lift for you, Mr. Willie?
No, I'll take the stairs. You know, good for the figure, you see.
Of course, quite. Good evening, Mr. Willie.
Thank you. All clear, Miss Worthington.
You don't think the manager will be popping in and out all evening, do you?
Of course not, my darling. Now, why haven't you changed into your dress?
I've been too busy listening at the door.
Well, hurry up, you beautiful creature. Hey, would you like some help in changing your dress?
No, thank you.
Are you sure? This works. House of Commons. This is Richard Willie. Give me my parliamentary private secretary, please. Hello, George. This is Richard Willie. Never mind where I am. How's the debate going? Oh. Look, I don't want to be disturbed unless the debate is turning out to be a disaster. Or let me put it this way. If the Prime Minister says, where's that idiot Richard Willie, then you can contact me. No, I'm not at home, and whatever you do, don't call there. Right, I can be reached at 071-839-5097. I'm in suite 648. No, it's not a hotel. It's a reading room at the British Museum. George, you're my PPS. Just do as you're told and don't ask questions.
The Falkland War that lasted 74 days ended today with the Argentine surrender. 355 British military personnel and 3 Falkland Islanders
Bloody
died.
liars!
might give us hiccups, Mr. Willie.
You look gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Minister. You know, this feels really naughty, Mr. Willie.
Well, it is naughty. Now, do you mind if I slip into something more comfortable?
I mean, you're a junior minister, and I'm one of the secretaries over there.
That's right.
How democratic, though. Since the Prime Minister is my boss and the leader of the opposition is yours.
My boss would hit the roof if he knew.
And my boss would go through it.
I don't make a practice of doing this, Mr. Willie.
Well, quite right. Look, neither do I.
Come off it, Mr. Willie.
Jane.
You should hear the jokes about you that go around the typist school.
About me?
About you, Mr. Willie. And with a name like that, some of the jokes are pretty strong, I can tell you.
That's disgraceful.
I'm only teasing you, Mr. Willie.
Are you?
Don't you like to be teased, Mr. Willie?
It depends on what you mean by teased. Now, I really wish you'd stop calling me Mr. Willie.
I've never called you anything else.
Under the circumstances, I think you should call me Dickie.
No, I couldn't.
Why not? All my friends call me Dickie.
No, I couldn't. Not after all those jokes ever. I think I'll call you Richard.
Well, coming from you, it sounds beautiful. Look, I've laid on some champagne.
Lovely.
Some caviar.
Lovely.
And 3 dozen oysters.
Oysters! Aren't they supposed to do something to a chap?
God, I hope so. Well, I've spent so much money on it. Well, what time do you have to be home? Where is it? Illusion.
I don't. I can stay all night.
All night, eh? Then what have you told your husband?
I'm visiting Auntie Rosie in Felixstowe.
Auntie Rosie in Felixstowe?
She's developed severe bronchitis.
Auntie Rosie!
And Auntie Rosie's not on the phone.
So, your husband can't call and disturb us. I'm sure there's a better song than that.
It's a beautiful warm night. Shall I open the curtains?
Why not? The view is actually very good. If I remember right, the balconies overlook the river. Breathtaking, isn't it? Nelson Solomon one way and Big Ben the other.
Oh, Mr. Willie!
Just call me Dickie.
I think I feel sick.
You're afraid of heights, eh? We're 6 floors high.
Oh my God!
Just call me Dickie.
Dickie!
Just don't look down. Just keep looking up and... Whoa. Well, I think we can dispense with the background music. The window must have come down on his neck.
Oh, Mr. Willie!
I can't feel any pulse.
He's dead, is he?
That's what no pulse generally means.
How long's he been there, Mr. Willie?
How would I know? When I came in, the curtains were closed, and I've been here about 10 minutes.
Is he still warm, Mr. Willie?
Yes, he's still warm, Miss Worthington.
God, he looks awful.
Of course he does. He's dead.
Poor man.
Poor man. He's obviously a burglar.
Is he?
Well, he's not the waiter bringing the oysters, is he? We're 6 floors high. Of course he's a burglar.
He might be one of the guests.
It doesn't matter who he is. He was obviously breaking and entering, somehow got onto the balcony, opened this window, and bang.
Must be a dodgy sash or something.
Well, he won't be suing the hotel, that's for sure.
Oh, we'd better ring the police.
Police!
About
Jane,
him.
you can't call the police?
We must, Mr. Willie.
Jane, what are we going to tell people what we're doing in a suite at the Westminster Hotel? I'm supposed to be attending an all-night session at the House of Commons.
But he's dead, Mr. Willie.
Well, the police won't be able to bring him about, will they? If the Prime Minister comes to know, there'll be one more scandal for the Conservatives and we'll fall well below the Liberal Democrats in the opinion polls.
You can't discover a dead body and just ignore it. If you're worried about the police, phone down for the manager.
What's the difference? I'm thinking about you, Jane.
You're thinking about your wife, your career, and the Prime Minister.
Well, those two. I can just imagine the headlines in the Sun tomorrow. Junior Minister and Labour Leader's Secretary in a sex orgy with a dead body.
Well, you've got to inform somebody.
Well, that's right. I think I'll inform George.
Mr. Pigden?
That's right.
What will your PPS do?
Whatever I tell him. Hello, House of Commons. Richard Willie here. Give me my PPS, urgent please. George, get over here right away. Never mind the debate, just get over here. No, not the British Museum. I'm in suite 648, the Westminster Hotel. You can be here in 2 minutes. And George, don't tell anyone where you're going. Bring anything, George? Yes, George. Bring your brains, George. Who is it?
Room service.
I'm busy.
You ordered champagne, caviar, and oysters.
I know.
Room service 648.
Go away.
Room service 648.
Gosh, she's going to have the whole hotel in here. You go inside. I'd stay in the bedroom.
Mr. Willie.
Coming.
Room service 648.
Coming.
If this was hot, it'll be cold.
Just leave it here.
Right. You've got a sign.
All right, give it a bit. Richard Willie here. Oh, what can I do for the manager of this delightful hotel? Seen a what? No, nothing untoward here. An intruder in our balcony. No. Our curtains are wide open, and I don't see anybody there. I have to rush to the House of Commons. And no need for you to come up, please. Right. Hey, it must. Hello, not you. Hello. Hey, I'll sign this now.
Right. Thank you.
The foxtrot. What do you think I'm doing? Oh, so this is how it happened.
You can't move him, Mr. Willie.
Well, it won't make any difference to our friend here where he's discovered, by whom or when. I'll handle it when George gets here!
This isn't right, Mr. Willie.
It's not supposed to be right. It's supposed to be expedient. Now, as soon as you're dressed, you get home to Lucian as fast. Why aren't you wearing a dress?
You've got it in here.
I threw it into the bedroom.
You threw my shoes in.
I gave your dress to the waiter.
The waiter.
Who is it?
The manager.
Oh, quick! By God, you go to the bedroom.
What about my dress?
I get it for you. Just go.
Mr. Willie.
Coming!
Mr. Willie. This is a very serious business.
I'm sorry, I'm on my way to the House of Commons. Shall we go?
Mr. Willie?
Oh, I'm silly of me.
This is a very serious business, Mr. Willie.
Well, I understand, but I'm so sorry that I'm not being much of help to you. Things have been rather quiet here.
A guest nearby said that she had seen a man kneeling on this balcony and looking in through the window.
Must be a mistake.
No. This is the balcony, all right, suite 648. She had been watching him for a good 10 minutes. He didn't move a muscle. He just knelt outside and stared right in.
Good Lord. As you can see, there's nobody there. Let's forget about it.
Sounds more like a peeping Tom to me, or worse still, a burglar. I'll just go into your bedroom and see.
Bedroom?
The balcony goes past there too. Can't do any harm to check. Oh no, I must remember to inform maintenance about this. Now if you'll excuse me.
Allow me.
I'll do that, Mr. Willie.
It's a good idea for the manager to check the bedroom balcony.
Thank you.
It's a good idea for the manager to check the bedroom windows.
Thank you.
Allow me after the manager.
Thank you.
I'll just check who's at the door. Who is it?
It's me, George.
George.
I came here as fast as I could, Minister.
Shut up, George. I have something to say to you, and I'm going to say it very quickly. I discovered something very unpleasant in my suite tonight.
When you say sweet, do you mean pudding?
Shut up, George. There's a body hanging in the cupboard.
When you say body, do you mean...
Shut up, George. Now, I'll arrange for the body to be discovered at a later time by your good self.
I don't understand.
George, by which time I'll be safely in the House of Commons, lending my support to the Transport Minister, and the leader of the Opposition Secretary will be home, tucked in bed in Lucian.
Do you think I could go out and come inside again?
George! Sit down. When that manager comes out of that bedroom, nothing that I told you ever happened. There was no intruder. There's no dead body in the cupboard, and things have been very quiet here.
Thank God for small mercies.
Shut up, George. Nothing's happened. Do you understand that? Now, don't try to be helpful. Just look intelligent and nod your head.
Nothing unusual on this balcony either, Mr. Willie.
I thought not. This is my parliamentary private secretary, George Pigden.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Pigden.
I'm afraid I've lumbered George with a lot of detailed work, and I've requested him to stay overnight here in London, and haven't I, George? And I'm assuming that you can find him some accommodation here.
I'll see what I can do, Mr. Willie.
Good. A suite next door would be fine. Either side is okay. As long as we are connected by a balcony. We need to be close, don't we, George?
I'll see if I can find something nearby, Mr. Pigden.
You don't have to get up, George.
I'll put a security onto the intruder, Mr. Willie.
That won't be necessary. There's been no damage, and this sort of thing is bad publicity for the hotel, you see.
Nevertheless, it is mine. You're right. It's not good publicity, is it?
No, definitely not.
Perhaps it is a case of least said, soonest mended.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to borrow that phrase.
Thank you. Mr. Willie!
George, every nod of yours was a gem.
What on earth is going on?
Well, you're going to have a free overnight stay at a 4-star hotel.
I can't stay anywhere without telling Mother.
Well, why don't you call and tell her? She'll be delighted for you.
She's already in bed by now. Besides, there's Nurse Foster.
Nurse Foster?
She looks after Mother while I'm at work, and she gets off at 9:30.
Well, just call Nurse Foster and tell her that she's going to be doing some overtime tonight.
Oh, I can't take advantage of Nurse Foster like that. And besides, Mother gets ready. She gets one to death if I change my plans at the last minute.
George, your mother has been worrying herself to death for the last 80 years. George, the future of the government is at stake.
But how?
Quick, out you come, Miss Worthington.
Miss Worthington?
Have you got my dress? Oh, Mr. Bigden!
Miss Worthington?
Now, you see the problem?
Good evening, Mr. Bigden!
Good evening, Miss Worthington. Worthington! Oh, Mr. Willie, how could you?
I haven't yet. But that's the least of my problems. But first, we've got to get Miss Worthington's dress back.
Where is it, for heaven's sake?
Give it to the waiter.
Ask a silly question.
What did you tell the manager just now?
Well, it doesn't matter. George here is in the breach now.
Not until he knows all the facts.
Have you told Mr. Bigden about the dead body?
Yes, yes.
You mean to say there is a dead body, but you said there isn't?
I told you to tell the manager there wasn't.
I don't quite follow you.
Well, all the manager knows that there was an intruder.
An intruder?
And what the manager doesn't know, that the intruder was a dead body.
The intruder was a dead body.
He was stuck in our window.
The manager or the intruder?
The intruder.
With his neck broken.
Oh, I see. With his neck broken!
Miss Worthington, will you kindly wait in the bedroom while I attempt to retrieve your dress?
But how will I know when it's safe to come out?
I'll shout.
I'm so sorry you got involved in this, Mr. Bigden.
Oh, it's quite all right. I'm not involved at all.
George! I need your help much more than I ever did before.
Wait a minute. When I came to this room, you said the body was in the cupboard.
It is. Hello, room service. Are you the gentleman that's been providing service to 648? Right. You went away with a dress. I gave you a dress. A dress, yes. We'd like it back. Idiot. Yes, as soon as possible. Next time there's a debate on euthanasia, I'm voting in favor.
Mr. Willie, could I get back to the body in the cupboard?
I knew you'd come to my aid.
Oh, no. What I want to know is, how did the body get from outside the window here to inside the cupboard there?
Sit down, George.
Oh, no, Mr. Willie, you didn't.
I had no alternative.
You didn't move a dead body.
Well, I had to think quickly. Besides, he's only a burglar.
You didn't inform the police or anybody.
Well, I was waiting for you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Willie.
George. Think of the consequences. Everything will come out. Miss Worthington, the whole lot.
Mr. Willie, you've tampered with material evidence.
George, if my wife comes to know about Miss Worthington, she'll tamper with a lot more. George, you're not a married man. You have no idea how terrifying an angry wife can be.
Well, if I was married, Mr. Willie, I'd be faithful to my wife.
That's because you're a far better man than I am, George. Now, all we have to do...
Well, there is no we about this.
Okay, all you have to do...
I don't have to do anything.
George, as soon as the manager assigns you a room, we transfer the body.
We do what?
We transfer the body to your suite and place him on the window ledge. And once I'm safely back in the House of Commons and Miss Worthington is safely back home, you open the curtains, discover the poor soul's soul, and immediately inform the manager.
Just like that. Take the body to my room. Arrange the body on my window. You and Miss Worthington. La 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 la. Poor George Pigden.
Well, if you won't do it for me, think of poor Miss Worthington. Her career will be ruined. She is the Labour leader's secretary, George.
But I told you 100 times where your libido would lead you.
George! You'll be doing this for our Prime Minister. If this comes out, there's one more scandal, he'd have to ask me to resign. That'll be the third in the last 12 months. Our government will never win the election, George.
It's in the cupboard, is it?
Hanging on a hook. You'll get a shock, George.
Mr. Willie.
Good news, Mr. Willie. I found Mr. Pigden asleep. Where's Mr. Pigden?
He's in the loo. I told him that you were in the loo.
I've managed to get him suite 650.
Manager says he's managed suite 650.
Right opposite.
Manager says it's right opposite.
Okay, you don't have to shout.
Mrs. Pigden.
Mrs. Pigden?
Didn't I tell you?
No.
Mrs. Pigden is staying here overnight with Mr. Pigden. Isn't that right, Mrs. Pigden?
Is it?
Right. The manager just managed to get you a suite 650 right across our room here. And he's so kind.
I thought Mr. Pigden stayed up to assist you in your work, Mr. Willie.
Well, yes. But who am I to deny him a little pleasure with business, especially with a delectable wife like that? A free suite at the Westminster Hotel, all paid for by the government. As soon as George called her, she got here like a shot, dropped everything.
Oh, yes, I can see that.
Well, she's not wearing very much because she was in the shower and Mr. Pigden in the loo, kind of intimate and things. Wasn't it like that?
I think so.
Well, that's about the size of it.
Scusa, senor.
What is it?
Macbeth up?
No, we'll take care of it. I mean, I'll take care of it.
Oh, sì. Ah, sì.
We're busy.
Oh, non capisco.
Go. Bye-bye.
Oh, go. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Maria.
Bye-bye.
And thank you.
Yes. I'll have the keys to suite 650 sent right out. And you may check in immediately, Mrs. Pigden.
Splendid.
Or as soon as you've completed your ablutions, that is. And then will either you or Mr. Pigden go down to the reception and check in immediately, please.
No problem, thank you.
And I thought you were in a hurry to get to the House of Commons, Mr. Willie.
I'm on the way, but I was just waiting for the loo.
What have you done, Mr. Willie?
I thought I did splendidly. George! George!
God, that was terrible.
Wait! That's probably your dress. Quick!
Here you are.
What the hell is this?
My address.
Mr. Willie wanted a dress.
Oh, did he now?
It's tangerine and black.
Oh, sounds lovely.
You took it!
A dress! I was wondering how I came by that. You're right. I am an idiot.
Will you go and get it, please?
We'd like it back in a hurry.
No sooner said than... The manager said somebody here was checking into suite 650.
That's right, Mr. and Mrs. Pigden.
Mr. and Mrs. Pigden?
Mr. Pigden here and Mrs. Pigden there.
Darling!
One key. Do you have any bags, Mr. Pigden?
No,
Here's your key, George.
not yet.
No bags, no cases. They are on their honeymoon.
Oh, congratulations.
They got married this morning in Lewisham.
Oh, lovely.
The hotel is your wedding present, George. When I mean the hotel, I mean the suite. A wonderful way to spend your honeymoon, eh?
Are you sure you want me to fetch your wife's dress, Mr. Pigden?
Yes, please.
And quickly.
Sooner said than done, sir. You haven't had your supper.
Oh, well, I don't want it.
But you paid for it.
Well, it doesn't matter. Just take it away.
Right.
Quick, I say, Harold.
I'll just sell it to one of the other guests. Mr. Willie, I would like to register my strongest complaint.
Well, George is registered. Now, Miss Worthington, will you kindly wait in the bedroom? And as soon as you get to your dress, just go home.
I'm so sorry about tonight, Mr. Pigden.
Well, he's having a ball. Don't worry about it. George, just get to 650 immediately.
Not before I phone Nurse Foster.
Nurse Foster?
Yes, I have to inform her that I'll be late.
Oh, God, just keep it quiet. Quick!
Well, the world doesn't revolve around you, Mr. Willie.
Just hold the summons, will you, George?
Hello? Is that Nurse Foster? Yes, this is Mr. George Pigden. Yes, I'm feeling very well, thank you. I'm keeping fit.
George! Nurse Foster doesn't need a medical report.
How's Mother doing? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Mother's feeling a little restless tonight.
We're all feeling restless, George. Just tell Nurse Foster that you're going to be home late.
Well, I was wondering, Nurse Foster, if I could ask you a small favor. Oh, you could. Oh, thank you. She says nothing's too much trouble for me.
Good.
I might be a little late tonight. Something's cropped up. Oh, you could you? Oh, thank you so much. And if you want to reach me, I'm at 839-5097. I always like Mother to know where I am in case of emergencies. And I'll either be in room 648 or 650. They're reading rooms at the British Museum. Bye.
George, now, get to 650. Open the window and get back here via the balcony.
I suffer from vertigo, you know.
Good. That'll keep your mind off the corpse you're going to be carrying.
Mr. Willie!
Don't do that, Miss Worthington!
I just realized I have nowhere to go.
Well, go home to Lewisham.
I can't. My husband thinks I'm with Auntie Rosie in Felixstowe.
Then go to Auntie Rosie in Felixstowe.
My aunt would have a fit if I turned up in the early hours of the morning.
Then why don't you bed down with Pigden in 650?
I heard that, Mr. Willie.
Well, come on, let me give you a hand.
I'm having second thoughts about this.
I can't find Mr. or Mrs. Pigden in there.